It is Thursday night, and we are live with racing for the Sim Auto Racing Association. Tonight, it is the season finale of the Pierce Fleet Service Super Series from Lanier Speedway. I am Jeff Pye Jr., joined by Bill Tomer in the broadcast booth. Bill, tonight, the RS Center Trucking 150. The story is going to be Ryan Kuhn. He just needs to finish 8th or better tonight to seal up the championship. But I think you know just as well as anybody, this track, anything can happen.
100% short track to the max, Jeff. I mean, we've got an unbelievable set of drivers, unbelievable field, and we are about to go qualifying.
Our first ever time doing single car qualifying with the Sim Auto Racing Association, broadcasting it. Matthew Design's pole award on the line, and these guys are going to get set to line up and go qualifying here. I believe our first car out on the racetrack will be Jeremy Ashby. I think this is going to be Ashby's first start, right?
I believe so. I believe this is his first week with the series.
I believe he's driving the car that's typically driven by Parker Retzlaff, so he'll be in the 2-car tonight.
Once again, we are doing live single car time trials tonight, kind of like we do for some of our bigger events. So what we're going to do is we're going to call 4 or 5 cars out here to the end of pit road. So
just waiting for cars to get into their order. We're waiting on the number 2 machine to take to the racetrack.
I
believe, Bill, he is now rolling here.
Just hang tight for a second.
Make sure we get our man on screen here as he's trying to get out on the racetrack. Just waiting for. He's just kind of hanging out on pit road, Jeff. Just waiting to waiting to roll here.
So it'll be Jeremy Ashby, Brendan Lee, I believe Rick Rube will be the 3rd car to go out onto the racetrack. Should I take that back? It doesn't look like we have Rick Rube here tonight. So it'll be Devin Rogers will be the next car to go out.
All right, car's rolling.
All right, onto the racetrack for the first driver to hit the track for qualifying. Matthew Design's pole award on the line. The number 2, Mike Ashby. This is a Parker Retzlaff car, one of the Ryan Kuhn Motorsports machines.
It's kind of a weird night to show up on championship night, Jeff, and you get your first time on the racetrack. You get to hit the track by yourself. All alone, spotlight's on you. Let's see what Ashby can do.
First lap was a 13.398. It was actually faster than his practice speed, so he found a little something here in qualifying. Second lap going to be slower actually. Lost a lot of speed there, 14.280 on that second run. Onto the racetrack now, part of the association, the 15, Brendan Lee.
Is that the name of the team, Jeff? I'm not familiar with that one. The association?
Yeah, I believe that's the Kelly brothers, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
Brendan Lee going to complete his first lap here. Going to go P2, 13.411. Second lap's going to be a little bit slower, 13.440. That's going to send Devin Morgan out on the racetrack in the Revelry Sim Racing 96.
Devin Rogers in the 96.
Sorry, what did I say?
Devin Morgan. It's okay. It's been, it's been a couple weeks off, and you know.
It's going to take us a little bit to get back in the swing here. Devin Rogers in the Revelry Racing 96 starts his first lap. But you can see the sun is coming out as well, and that might slow things down as the track's going to heat up a bit. 13.471 P3 for Devin Rogers. Second lap going to be a little bit slower, 13.649. So Devin going to be third of the 3 cars that have qualified so far. Now onto the racetrack. This is going to be the 53, the Team 53 machine of Ryan Nardone. Nardone's first lap is a 13.435. Going to put him third fastest so far. And then it looks like he's going to bail out on the second lap. Knows the first one is going to be the best. And he's just going to take 1 lap. So we'll send the next car out onto the racetrack, which I believe is going to be the 07.
Kyle Martinson in the 07 machine.
It's a Velocity Motorsports number 07 for Kyle Martinson. He's going to take his first lap here coming to the green. .484, slowest of the guys that have qualified so far for Kyle Martinson. He's going to take the second lap, try to improve a bit. And not going to be able to do it. So Kyle Martinson going to sit 5th on the board of the 5 qualifiers. Onto the racetrack now, the 80 machine of Jacob Harberts. This is the LeDuc Matthews Racing number 80 onto the racetrack. Begins his first lap. Harbert's got no practice. He came in late tonight, so no practice at all. He's going to actually bail out on that first lap, go back to the outside, try to get a run for a second lap here. Sideways off turn 4, going to complete his second lap, 13.410. Bill, even getting sideways, he's second fastest.
That's crazy. That's a good time from Harberts.
Onto the racetrack now. The guy that's sponsoring tonight's race, the RS Center Trucking 150. This is the 110, the Ryan Kuhn Motorsports number 110 of RS Center. First lap is a 13.455. Going to put him 5th fastest so far. Going to take that second lap. Nobody's been faster on their second laps except for Harbert so far.
CRS getting really sideways off of turn 4.
Yeah, and he slowed down on the second lap, so that is where he's going to finish. Onto the racetrack now, a former champion in the Super Series build. The number 1, the driver driving for the shop, it's Alex McCollum. Alex, fresh off a win in the Legend Cars at Charlotte on Monday night. And he's having a heck of a season there on the little track at Charlotte. 13.415, going to put him 4th quickest so far. And that's it. He's gonna bail out on the second lap, call it good. 4th fastest for Alex McCollum. So in the T4X Racing number 7, this will be Kyle Souza taking to the racetrack. Souza beginning his first lap here. .13509 gonna be the slowest of the drivers to qualify so far. He's gonna go for a second lap, try to improve. Souza gonna slow down on that second lap, so he's gonna sit 9th so far of the drivers that have qualified. Another Revelry Racing machine taken to the racetrack. This is the 65 of Aaron Abendroth. Aaron going to start his first lap, and we talked about the weather changing. It started off overcast. Mike Ashby went out, ran the fastest lap, and now the sun has been out, and that's just going to heat this track up and slow it down. So Ashby, by going out first, might have had a bit of an advantage, as Aaron Abendroth goes 9th fastest so far.
How crazy is that? The guy that went out first, the guy that's first week in the series, goes out at the right time and sets a quick lap.
Yeah, and everybody sitting on pit road right now is just praying for a cloud to come over the racetrack and cool the track off. It looks like Aaron Abendroth going to get a 13.505, 9th fastest of the drivers that have qualified onto the racetrack now. The number 10, the Association Machine for Cameron Hamilton. Cam looks pretty good on this first lap, showing a lot of speed. 13.452, going to put him 6th fastest so far. Little bit. Actually ran the identical lap on the second one as well. That's consistent. New look on the racetrack for the 60 machine, the 16 XCI car for Parker Traves. New look, Bill. I don't know about it. White and chrome numbers.
Much different than we're used to seeing Parker Traves. We're in a black car with yellow numbers all season. This is kind of an old school look, Jeff.
Yeah, it is very old school. 13.402. That is 2nd fastest for Parker Traves. So he found some speed there. No practice at all for Parker. He came in cold, did not hit the racetrack in practice, lays down a lap in qualifying.
Well, that's how you do it, right? I mean, just go out and make it happen. That's what Parker Traves just did. So make him P2. Mike Ashby still hanging on to your provisional pole.
Another driver out of the Velocity Motorsports stable, the 66 of Eric Tracy onto the racetrack. Eric's got to be feeling pretty good. He sees the track is there right now. He just saw Parker lay down the 2nd fastest lap. So he's got to be feeling pretty good right now as he hits the racetrack. 13.534. That's going to be the slowest so far. So Eric going to try a 2nd lap, see if he can find anything. He got way up the racetrack on exit there out of 4. That is going to slow it down. So Eric going to be the slowest of the drivers that have qualified so far. Onto the racetrack in the 16 XCI car, the number 91 of Dylan Bates, and he just saw one of his teammates go P2 there just a car ago, so Dylan Bates knows he's got a pretty hot setup if he can get it underneath him here and run a qualifying lap. .473, going to be 10th fastest for Dylan Bates on his first lap. He's going to go for a 2nd here.
Dylan having sort of a moment there through 3 and 4. Got way up the racetrack. First lap is going to be the quickest for Dylan Bates. 13.623. 10th place for Dylan.
Another shop car going to hit the racetrack. This is the 16 of Dustin Mombercat. Bill, cloud cover starting to hit the racetrack right as Dustin Mombercat. Yeah, this is what these guys sitting on pit road want to see right now. It's Mombercat going to be the first one out in the cloud cover. The track might not cool down enough for him. So he goes 13.443. That is 7th fastest for Dustin, and looks like he's going to call it 1 lap there. Onto the racetrack, the T4X car, the Zero Machine, a Matt Rolfe. Matt having a good season here in the Super Series, in the top 10 in points, and he's going to try to complete that here with a run at Lanier.
Well, that's not going to be it, Jeff, as he entered turn 3 way too high, so Matt probably going to need his 2nd lap to be his quick lap.
Yeah, that is slowest so far, 13.637. So Matt needs to find some speed here. Nobody's really improved on their second lap, so Matt's got a long road ahead here on the second one. Wow, he did improve one spot, so he's going to run a 13.523, be 15th fastest. Onto the racetrack, one of the Elite Performance Industries machines, the 78. This is Aaron Johnson.
And Aaron loves mac and cheese.
Yeah, he does. Aaron on his first lap, and now the sun's starting to peek out, Bill. And these guys that were just thinking, oh, wow, the cloud cover's coming. Now the sun is starting to beat on the racetrack as Aaron goes P3, 13.407. Heck of a lap for Aaron Johnson there. Now onto the racetrack in the 16 XCI machine, the 16 of Daniel Pope II. Pope going to come around for his first lap, 13.415. Going to go 7th fastest. And that is going to be it for Pope.
Everybody just taking one lap, realizing lap number 2 is not going to get it done, so we're going to try to do it on the first lap. Unless you screw up that first lap, have an issue or something, that you miss a line or whatever. Your first lap is going to be the one, so you're seeing a lot of these guys just pull it off after one lap.
Now onto the racetrack in the Elite Performance Industries, number 88. This is Kyle Meyer.
Now this car looks fancy, Jeff. I like this.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with fluorescent yellow,
That's
right?
That's right. It's a Jeff Pye Jr. staple right there.
Kyle Meyer on his first lap. Going to go 13.440. That is 9th fastest. Just ahead of Dustin Monberquet.
Kyle going to give her a go on that second lap just to see what he can come up with.
A little bit slower on the second lap, so he'll stay in the 9th position. Now, Bill, heading onto the racetrack, your Contender Series champion out of the Elite Performance Industries stable, the number 6, that is Spencer Dickinson.
Congratulations to him. That is a huge title. The Contender Series extremely, extremely competitive.
Spencer has a teammate up there in the top 3. He's hoping to do the same if he can get up near the front tonight. And 13.440, going to put him 9th fastest so far, right ahead of one of his other teammates. That was Kyle Meyer. Going to go for that second lap. Does not improve, so he will be 9th so far. Now another 6 machine going to take to the racetrack. This one out of the posse. This is Joe Schaefer Jr. .406, third fastest for Joe Schaefer. That was a great lap. He's going to shut it down right there.
That's a nice lap. Nice lap for Joe Schaefer Jr. Actually, he's been a pretty good qualifier all season long, Jeff.
Now onto the racetrack, Bill. The last time SARA Super Series raced, this guy was a winner. The shot number 54. This is Cole Cabrey.
Shut her down.
Cole, yeah, 13.433. Going to be 9th fastest so far, and that is going to be one and done for Cole Cabrey. On to the racetrack now, Bill. This is our In the Zone Racing Monday Night Series champion, driving for the shop, the 13 of Josh Cottle. little sideways off turn 4.
That's going to hurt the speed.
13.432, going to go 9th fastest. And second lap not going to improve. Now onto the racetrack, your second in points. Driver from the shop, the 32 Machina, Trevor Edwards. Trevor's going to need a big night tonight if he wants a chance at the championship. Ryan Kuhn can clinch with an 8th place finish. It would take Trevor Edwards needing to win to really have a shot at it, and it starts right here in qualifying.
He's going to need a lot of help, right? It's a gap.
First lap for Trevor Edwards, 13.443, going to be 14th fastest. And it looks like he's going to be one and done there.
That is not what Trevor Edwards wanted to do tonight.
Well, Bill, on to the racetrack, your point leader. He's got a 23-point gap with an 8th place finish tonight. He could clinch the championship. He was the fastest driver in practice. He's going to qualify last tonight. Here he comes, the 72 of Ryan Kuhn. First lap for Kuhn, third fastest overall, 13.404. And it looks like he's going to shut it down. And Bill, first SARA Super Series race, and Mike Ashby takes the Matthew Designs Pole Award.
Wow.
Welcome to the SARA Super Series.
Yeah, wow. What a performance from Mike Ashby. That is fantastic. He will be on tonight's RS Center Trucking 150 pole. Man, oh man, Jeff, could you imagine showing up and just going, look at me, boys, how you doing?
Yeah, you know what's funny? I was over in the SPM chat right before the race, just talking to some of the guys, and I heard him go, "Who's Mike Ashby?"
Well, they know now, don't they?
Yeah, they do now. Yeah.
That's an impressive feat. We're gonna get a few minutes, give him about 5 minutes of warm up time. Jeff, I spent some time racing this car finally this week to give us, I hope, a little bit more insight. I even practiced at Lanier this week, Jeff.
Oh, there we go.
Not that I knew what I was doing.
Well, how is driving this car at Lanier?
Well, I'll tell you what. I drove it mostly at Hickory, and driving it at Hickory is like driving across an old school washboard or a cobblestone street. It is brutal. At Lanier, it is much better. It's a smoother racetrack, obviously, but they're both, I mean, they're fairly similar. Hickory a little bit longer straightaways. Here at Lanier, you're in a corner the whole time. I'll tell you what, Joe, I hadn't been in a race car and iRacing in a long time, at least an oval car, and I hate to admit this, but it actually made me motion sick to drive Lanier. It made me dizzy. I just felt like I was going in a circle the whole time, and I kid you not, I walked away from the sim feeling a little bit nauseous.
Well, I remember, those days we used to run Oxford a lot because there wasn't a lot of short tracks in the sim. And I remember some of those times at Oxford, you almost got lost because it just seemed like you were always turning.
Yes.
And you get to a point in a long race, you're like, am I in 1 and 2 or 3 and 4? I don't even know anymore.
I mean, truth, that is exactly what this racetrack feels like in this car. And I took part in a race, a different league on Tuesday night, and it was a 150-lap race at Hickory. I made about 130 of them before I died, but I'll tell you what, Jeff, I can't believe, and we've talked about it for weeks in all of the series about how you have to save in this car. And I mean, Hickory's a little bit different. It's a little bit slippery, more slippery. It's got high banked, different racetrack than Lanier. But we rode around for 100 laps, saving tires, just driving like it was a Sunday drive. It's a really, really odd way to race this car. I can see where some guys get frustrated. I can see where some of the strategy starts to play out. But it surprised me. I'm a guy that likes to save tires because I'm not all that fast. But it was just a really weird way to race it.
Yeah, I can imagine that it'd be very tempting to want to run away from the field. And we've seen it. We've seen guys try to do it. And they run out of tire. They end up, falling deep into the field by the end of the race. So, you got to pace yourself. You got to have a little self-control, I guess, to not, just drive away and try to run fast laps here.
Right. And I think you can. I mean, that's certainly something you can do. But it's the car is so odd. It's just, I mean, my experience, it was just one time, right? But my experience is kind of opened my eyes a little bit to how this car really operates and what these guys are, the struggle that they've got kind of internally as you're going around the racetrack in these races.
Well, the question tonight too for Ryan Kuhn, he's going to be starting 7th tonight due to the invert. And the question is, where does he go on the racetrack? Is he going to try to, save tires? Is he going to try to stay up front and stay out of trouble? Because the worst thing he can do is get shuffled to the middle of the field and get caught up in something, right? So you almost give up a good finish or a chance to win tonight to make sure you just don't get back in the field, right?
Right. I think speaking from my experience on Tuesday night, I think someone like Ryan Kuhn, with the amount of speed that he does possess in that number 72 machine, I think you stay out front the entire time, or at least you work to stay out front the entire time. As long as someone's not pushing the pace very hard, I think you'd want to stay out of the middle of the pack and just kind of keep your nose clean.
And that's Trevor Edwards as well, going to be starting really deep in the field tonight. And if he wants a chance at the championship, he's going to need to keep himself out of trouble. And unfortunately, he's starting 15th in this field, and that is in the scary zone back there. And we know with this racetrack, when things happen, it happens quick, and the track can get blocked very quickly. So Trevor's going to need to be heads up tonight. And, a lot of these races have been going caution-free or 1 or 2 cautions, so we're not expecting a ton of wrecks. It's just when they happen, it could be disaster.
Absolutely. I mean, you're talking about a racetrack that has walls on both sides. Now, granted, this isn't like South Boston where it's like you're driving in a tunnel, or at least a hallway. But like you said, the track can get blocked. There isn't anywhere for cars to go. If there's 2 or 3 cars that have gotten together, they could end up spread out across the track. And if you're Ryan Kuhn, you do not want to see that happen. If you're Trevor Edwards, you want to see that happen in Ryan Kuhn. Unfortunately, I mean, that's something that's going to help Trevor. It's it's the way Trevor's going to have a shot tonight at this championship.
And these drivers going to have to be very conscious, too, about where they're running on the racetrack, because when that yellow falls, you do not want to be restarting on the outside. Inside line here is going to be so valuable. And you definitely don't want to put yourself where you're running like 8th or 6th place and have to restart on the outside. So you're going to see guys not content to race hard when they're running 5th or 3rd or something like that. But as soon as they get into an even number spot, they're going to want to pass somebody.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're going to look for. You're probably going to see guys playing a little bit of chess as they look to see where they're running throughout the field. But Jeff, we're done talking about it. It's time to put it down. These guys... 25 cars tonight. Going to go 150 laps here in the RS Center, trucking 150 here at Lanier.
Well, it is gridding time right now, and we are going to work out the grid because they are not going to line up the way that they will start tonight. So we're pulling up the grid right now. So on the front row tonight, the number 78 of Aaron Johnson. And on the outside of him, in the 6X, it'll be Joe Schaefer Jr.
This is going to be brutal for me to go through this, Jeff. You might as well go ahead and do the grid because they're not sitting the way that I can see them. So
all right, I'll do the first 4 rows, and then we'll start alternating. So starting in the 2nd row tonight, the 60 of Parker Traves. On the outside of him, starting 4th, will be the 80 of Jacob Harberts. Starting 5th tonight will be the 1 car of Alex McCollum, and on the outside of him, your series points leader starting 6th be the 72 of Ryan Kuhn. Starting 7th tonight will be the 15 of Brendan Lee, and on the outside of him, your Matthew Designs Pole Award winner, the 2 of Jeremy Ashby.
So that puts us through 8, correct, Jeff?
That is correct. So starting with the 9th place car, that is where they will start right there.
All right, starting 9th in the number 16, that is Daniel Pope, the 2nd, and on his outside in the number 13, it's Josh Cottle.
Starting in the 11th position of the 54 machine, it'll be Cole Cabry. On the outside of him, in the number 53, it'll be Shane Williamson.
Contender Series champion Spencer Dickinson starts 13th in the number 6 machine, and on his outside in the number 88M, that is Kyle Meyer.
Starting 15th tonight in the 32 machine will be Trevor Edwards. On the outside of him in the 16M, it'll be Dustin Mombercat.
Cameron Hamilton rolls off 17th place in the number 10 and starting 18th on the field in the number 110, that's RS Center.
Starting 19th tonight will be the 96 of Devin Rogers. On the outside of him in the number 91, it'll be Dylan Bates.
Starting 21st in the 07 machine, that is Kyle Martinson, and on his outside in the number 65 machine, that is Aaron Abendroth.
Starting 23rd tonight in the number 7 machine will be Kyle Souza. On the outside of him in the 0, it'll be Matt Rolfe.
Shotgun on the field, starting 25th in the number 66 machine. It is Eric Tracy, Jeff. 25 cars, 150 laps. This one's about to get a little bit exciting.
This is it. This is the season finale for the Pierce Fleet Service Super Series. 10 races. It all comes down to the final one. Can Ryan Kuhn bring home the championship, or will it be Trevor Edwards? Can he find a way from the middle of the field to steal this one away from Ryan Kuhn? Pace car going to go around one more lap.
We have the same pace truck driver, and it just never wants to leave. It's actually, that's not the case. It's actually we mess to get the lineup in. They make sure that we have time. But sorry about that. I just had absolutely no way to know what was going on in the first
No, I
rows.
totally, yeah. It is very difficult the way that is set up for tonight. But
on the fly, it was, yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. We are going green racing for RS Center Trucking 150. We are underway with Aaron Johnson out front. Joe Schaefer looking to get down in front of Parker Traves. He will do so. First battle on the racetrack between Alex McCollum and Jacob Harberts. Harberts stuck on the outside. Here comes Brendan Lee in the 15 trying to take away Finn.
Brendan Lee to the inside. Here comes Daniel Pope in the 16. He's going to look for that position as well. Cole Cabry's lined up on the bottom. The guy that's not lined up on the bottom doesn't want to see it. Ryan Kuhn, he's stuck on the outside. He's fallen all the way back to 9th already.
Yeah, and Josh Cottle's not going to do him any favors. He wants to make sure Ryan Kuhn stays out there. Kuhn does drop in behind Cottle. Now Harberts is still stuck on the outside. He has fallen all the way back to 8th. He's losing another spot here to Cottle. Here comes Ryan Kuhn. The 80 machine is just sunk on the top side.
Nothing Harberts can do. Ryan Kuhn's going to go by, but Jeff, if you look just a little bit behind Ryan Kuhn, there's Trevor Edwards. Trevor Edwards is finding his way through the field. He's running 14th, and Kuhn, as he slipped back on that outside starting position, he's only a few spots ahead of Trevor now, so that's your championship battle. We'll keep an eye on that all night long.
Well, shout out to Brett Suggs in the chat who's cheering for Shane Williamson in the 53, who just went around Jacob Harberts. Jeff I Sr. in the house cheering for Cole Cabry. Spencer Dickinson, your Contender Series champion. He's going to go around Harberts, who's still stuck on the outside. Here comes Trevor Edwards now, and Harberts going to fall all the way back to about 13th.
That is a frustrating place to be in if you're Jacob Harberts. Had a great qualifying effort in that number 80 machine, and you can see the RS Center and the 110 going to look to the bottom. These are all cars that he was faster than in qualifying, but Harberts just cannot find the bottom, and that loss of track position is so hard to make up later in the race.
And Bill, look who's behind him. That's the 2 of Mike Ashby. Your quick qualifier has fallen all the way back to the 17th position now.
I just have to have patience just to understand that it is a long race, but I tell you what, if they stay green, which the series tends to do, these laps click off quickly. The good news is there's not a whole lot of place to go at Lanier, so they're all probably going to stay pretty close to each other.
Well, Aaron Johnson has led the first 10 laps so far as he has got a nice gap over Joe Schaefer, about half a second. Then it's about half a second back to Alex McCollum, who's ahead of Parker Trace. Brendan Lee runs in the 5th spot. Daniel Pope up into the 6th position. Cole Cabry 7th. Josh Cottle runs 8th. Ryan Kuhn 9th. And he's got Shane Williamson starting to put some pressure on him. Down into turn 1, Shane started to dive underneath the 72. Thought better of it. They are battling behind them as Dylan Bates just got shuffled to the top side by Kyle Meyer. And now Ashby going to take a look underneath the 91, try to work his way back towards the front. And Bill, you go all the way back here to the 22nd position. That's where you'll find Jacob Harbert still running on the outside. He just now got into line.
That is... If his car wasn't white, Jeff, it'd be red, because that's what his face is right now, because that is so frustrating to be caught on the outside. And you can just see the choo-choo train as we watched the speed shot just a couple laps ago. I mean, they're all lined up together.
Yeah, Harbert started 4th tonight, and he has fallen all the way back to 23rd, where he finally got into line. Trevor Edwards on the move, going around Spencer Dickinson. Dickinson going to let him go, going to try to get down in front of Kyle Meyer. Almost didn't make it there. I think Meyer had to back out of it.
Now RS Center caught on the outside. That is where we saw Jacob Harberts have his issues. Center up off the bottom, and I'm not sure that was really anything RS did. I think he was kind of doing a little bit of avoiding. And now here comes Dylan Bates. Here comes Cam Hamilton. They're all going to look to go by the 110 machine.
And Cam Hamilton will go by as well. Our center drops in front of Aaron Amadroth, having a little issue there, connection issues.
Kyle Souza just went around Devin Rogers. That was a battle for 21st. See, all these guys, we talked about it, Jeff, and talked about my experience with this car. Everybody seems to be saving up front. A couple gaps, you know, in your top 10, but for the rest of the field, if you're way back there, you're just kind of trying to hang on to your tires at this point. There's no point in even driving hard because, well, your only shot at anything is to try to have a tire here at the end of this race.
Well, Aaron Johnson leads this thing over Joe Schaefer, and he has stretched that lead out a little bit more here, starting to build it up over Joe Schaefer. Alex McCollum runs in the third spot with Parker Trays. Brendan Lee, no changes up front at all since really the first lap, as Aaron Johnson has led the first 20. Dylan Bates on the move as he gets underneath Mike Ashby in the 2 machine. Your quick qualifier now back to the outside line.
Cameron Hamilton going to follow Dylan Bates as Dylan Bates opens the door underneath Ashby. Ashby caught on the high side again. Doing a pretty decent job, and honestly, Jeff, I think if these cars, they're not really running the pace they could be, as, almost contact between Hamilton and Ashby as they came off of turn number 4. And man, Dylan Bates sideways, he got down on the apron. That car got kind of unloaded, was on the right rear, and he was a little bit sideways there. You see Cam Hamilton going to make that move. But Jeff, I talked about it. I think the high side, because the bottom pace is pretty slow, really probably if they wanted to use up tires could defend. That's whether or not you want to use up tires this early in this race.
Yeah, and Ashby is slid all the way back here into the 15th position. Now he's under fire from Cam Hamilton. RS Center behind them, and they got to stack up behind them as well, as RS had to check up for the 2 machine who got down. Aaron Amadroth's going to get into the back bumper of him. He's going to move the 110 up the racetrack. So Amadroth now trying to take a spot away. I think RS tried to cut the 2 a break, and he ended up paying the price for it.
And I think that's the second time that's happened to RS Centers. He's ended up off the bottom. You can see Matt Rolfe making the move now. So he's going to look underneath RS Center. That's a battle for 18th. Move Rolfe into the position. Here comes Kyle Martinson in the 7. RS Center getting the Jacob Harbert's treatment as he's stuck on the high side. Mike Ashby up off the bottom now.
Yeah, Abendroth was there, but Abendroth pushed up the racetrack, and he almost made contact with Ashby. Now these two are battling for the 16th position on the racetrack. RS Center is falling all the way to the rear of the field. Looked like he just kind of backed out of it, let the inside line go, and he's going to start over from the tail end.
Out front, we jump into Aaron Johnson. Oh, we were about to talk about it at the same time, Jeff, as we were talking about Aaron Johnson out front, all by himself. We jumped in the cockpit view for a moment so we could see he's got nothing in front of him, not closing on the tail end of the field. So right now, I think Aaron probably in a bit of a save mode. He's got Joe Schaefer Jr. just a bit off his back bumper, just about six tenths behind him. So these guys probably got the lead they want and just kind of riding now.
Yeah, Aaron out front of Joe Schaefer.
Oh, big wreck on the back straightaway. Big wreck. Kyle Meyer, Dylan Bates, Matt Rolfe is involved. Kyle Martinson. Jeff, we talked about it before the race. Sorry to interrupt you. Oh, and Mike Ashby's car is junk in the 2 machine. Your quick qualifier going to be done for the evening. His car is not right, but there was a massive pileup on the back straightaway. It looked like it might have started with probably Dylan Bates and Kyle Meyer.
We'll try to get a look at that in our replay. Kyle Meyer was running in the 13th position. Ooh, and first look at it, looked like Dylan just got to the back of the 88, and then they were just sideways.
Yeah, it just looks like he gets into him, and Cam Hamilton nowhere to go. And that's about where I interrupted you, Jeff, is there was just a massive pileup. I could see cars sideways on the back straightaway, and it was on from there. We knew cars were going to pile in, and that's exactly what you're seeing here as we watch it go into turn number 1.
Kyle Martinson, Matt Rolfe, Kyle Souza piled in there. Shout out to Devin Rogers. He did a great job avoiding that, along with Jacob Harbertson. Dustin Monburquette had to make a pretty wild move there to try to avoid getting involved in that one.
We're going to give you an in-car here on Mike Ashby in his first race with the SARA Sim Series. Sim Auto Racing Association. Here we go in the Super Series, and just nowhere to go. Now, unfortunately for Ashby, that little bit of contact, and we're going to look at it, that tears the right front off the number 2 car. You can see right now, you can see the toe is completely knocked out of the 2. Just can't steer that machine. Actually, it looks like the rear end is what's knocked out, and he's just trying to counter steer it, but that car is broken.
Yeah, it's a shame for Ashby with a fast time in his first night here, and unfortunately ends early. And that's what we talked about, Bill. You fall back to the middle of the field or deep into the field, and anything can happen. It doesn't matter how fast you are. You get caught up in something, and it can end your night right there. And that's what Ryan Kuhn wants to avoid, is the pace car is going to head off the racetrack. We are doubled up with Aaron Johnson out front of Joe Schaefer, and Schaefer did not get a great restart. So Alex McCollum's looking for second here. Schaefer going to have to slot down in the line and might do the over-under. Can't quite get there.
Trying to see who... Oh, we got...
Trouble for Parker.
Oh, that wasn't trouble for Parker. That was trouble hitting the gas because his teammate was on the outside.
So Traves is getting pushed there from behind by the 54, Cole Cabry, as he was trying to let Daniel Pope down in line.
He's going to give you a paint check here, Jeff. I'm showing Cabry as that 88 Keith Jeffrey machine.
Okay, that was the car you're supposed to drive tonight, was the 88. I have the 54, but...
We're seeing it as the 88, but we'll go with that as the control cars. Alex McCollum up the racetrack. He's now getting passed by Brendan Lee, who's moved Alex McCollum up off the bottom. Actually, probably Joe Schaefer made that move, and now Alex McCollum really going to go backwards as he backed off hard there. Now he's going to be the outside of Parker Traves.
Yeah, I think Alex is trying to find a hole, and unfortunately, you look back behind him, and there's nothing there, and he's going to end up going deep into this field if that's his game plan. As Trevor Edwards is trying to make a move underneath Ryan Kuhn. He sent it off there into turn 1. Kuhn had to back out, and now he's stuck on the outside.
Aggressive move from Trevor Edwards, but that's what he has to do if he wants to win this Sim Auto Racing Association Championship here in the Super Series. And now Aaron Abendroth's going to make the move into the top 10 as he goes underneath Ryan Kuhn. Here comes Jacob Harberts, Jeff, as he's made his way back towards the top 10 as he's on the move in the 80 car. He goes underneath Ryan Kuhn.
Yeah, about 20 laps ago, Harberts was running 23rd. Now he's going by Ryan Kuhn. Trevor Edwards just went around Alex McCollum, and now Ryan Kuhn slots down in front of RS Center. That's Shane Williamson on the outside of the 53. So Ryan Kuhn's going to fall all the way back to the 13th spot here.
Oh, Shane Williamson in trouble. So he ends up the racetrack. I don't know if he got loose or if he got bumped, but he ended up the racetrack there. Jeff, that was an aggressive move by Ryan Kuhn as he jumped back in line.
Yeah, he did have RS Center behind him, which was a teammate, so maybe RS was telling him, get down, and he went for it, and fortunately finds a hole in line. Harberts trying to get around Aaron Abendroth. It's a battle for the 10th spot right now. Harberts gets his way back into the top 10 after falling so deep into the field early on.
That's a fast car, Jeff. Third quick qualifier? We got another car up the racetrack. It is RS Center as he has gone up the racetrack in 3 and 4. And he might have been told, possibly because of, that was just an odd thing. I wonder if he was told to get out of line because of that connection issue.
Possibly. Been up and down night for RS. He went to the back early. He started working his way back up. I think he was running about 14th there before that just happened. So up and down night for RS in his race here, the RS Center Trucking 150. Aaron Johnson still out front, has led 50 laps of this one with Joe Schaefer back into the 2nd spot. Brandon Lee runs 3rd. Daniel Pope 4th. Parker Traves runs 5th. Cole Cabry 6th. Josh Cottle 7th. Trevor Edwards 8th. Alex McCollum 9th. Jacob Harberts now in 10th and starting to put some pressure to Alex McCollum.
Spencer Dickinson making a move on Eric Tracy. Eric Tracy up the racetrack. Kyle Meyer in the 88. He's got quite a bit of damage on the front end of that machine from that earlier incident, but he's going to make the move as well. Here comes Shane Williamson trying to rally back after his issues in turns 1 and 2. A little bit farther forward, Jacob Harberts makes the move on Alex McCollum. Harberts all the way from 23rd back all the way to 9th.
Bill, also another change just happened as Cole Cabry let Josh Cottle go. And that is a battle for 6, and Cottle went around it. Cabry just pulled back in line behind him, so no position, not too much damage there for Cole Cabry. He's able to get down in line. They've kind of spread themselves out up front.
That's a trio of teammates there, a bunch of shop teammates between Cabry, Trevor Edwards, and Josh Cottle.
Yeah, varying strategies right there as Trevor Edwards is on the move, and he's going to catch Cole Cabrey. Now we'll see if Cabrey does the same for the 32.
Everybody
He might not want to, because
ninth.
that is 7th position. So Cabrey might be thinking, you know what, I wouldn't want to restart 8th if the caution flies here.
We talked about that earlier, Jeff. We'll see these guys play some chess during this race, try to stay in those odd number positions in case there is a yellow. You want to be on the bottom. Let's see what happens. When you start on the top, just ask Jacob Harberts about that one.
Matt Rolfe up the racetrack got real loose off turn 4. Behind him, Cam Hamilton now is up the racetrack because here comes Spencer Dickinson in the 6 machine. Battle for the 16th spot. Dustin Momberquette just went around Aaron Abendroth, and that is a battle for 11th. So move the 16 up to the 11th spot. Saw Kyle Meyer go around Cam Hamilton. Now the 53 as Shane Williamson does as well. Josh Cottle has caught Parker Traves. This is a battle for 5th on the racetrack. Is the 13 going to try to get around Traves here? We've seen this build up from Cottle. He likes to get out front and lead and set the pace. And he started deep tonight, and he is trying to work his way to the front here and get control of this one.
Give you a little bit of helmet cam from Cottle's cockpit, following Traves closely. You can see how exciting Lanier is to drive. Not really. He's kind of turning the whole time. He never really straightened the car out. We won't watch that too long because I'll get motion sick again.
Well, you'll start to see them too. If the car starts to tighten up, they'll start using a little bit more of that yellow line. They'll start driving that car down onto the apron. Not seeing a lot of it right now. I think everybody's a little bit free enough. They don't need to rotate the car on the flat part of the racetrack. But if they start tightening up, they will get down there.
You know, it's funny. I tried that a little bit, Jeff, in this car, practicing at Lanier, and it doesn't feel like it used to. You used to use the apron to kind of unload the car. It kind of, I mean, from my experience, I felt like it kind of slid the nose even more. So I'm not sure we'll see that, but I'm also awful, so that might not be the case for me.
Well, battle for second. Joe Schaefer just got caught by Brendan Lee, and he just moved out of the way. He's going to let Brendan Lee go, but that is going to cost him another spot because here comes Daniel Pope to the inside, and Schaefer not going to be able to get to the bottom. So now here comes Parker Traves. They've got Josh Cottle lined up as well, so this could be a lot of spots lost here for Schaefer.
Now, there is a bit of a gap, but you can see Cole Cabrey. He turned up the wick when he saw there was somebody up on the high side. Let's go get some positions here.
Yeah, this is a freebie, so you don't want to let it get away as he's going to try to get there, and he does to the inside of Schaefer. He's got Trevor Edwards back there as well, so Schaefer is going to try to get down in line here behind the 32 of Trevor Edwards, and he is going to fall all the way back to the 8th spot.
See Dylan Bates in the 91. He is a lapped car. He was caught in that earlier incident. He gets out of the way of your leaders. We also cut to Kyle Meyer there, made a move up into the 16th position for the 88 car. Matt Rolfe and Cam Hamilton, they're battling on the racetrack. Spencer Dickinson's in that battle as well.
Yeah, Dickinson just went around Rolfe for the 15th spot. Kyle Souza and Shane Williamson just made some contact down the back straightaway. Souza trying to get around the 53, and that car is a little out of control right now, sliding around a bit.
I've actually got Matt Rolfe a lap down, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, he did. He lost a lap in that initial wreck. I did forget about that. Him and Dylan Bates both went a lap down.
Out front, Aaron Johnson absolutely destroying the field at the moment as he's got a 1.7 second lead on the rest of the field. You can see the field as we watch him go down the back straightaway in the background.
Now Parker Traves to the inside of his teammate, Daniel Pope. Pope gave him the inside. Here comes Josh Cottle. Cole Cabrey is there. They are lined up, so the train now is starting to get to the inside, and Daniel Pope's going to find it hard to find a spot in line here.
Yeah, there is not a spot behind. Well, it's going to be back behind Dustin Momberquette. So if that's where Pope ends up, which is likely, as there are multiple cars lined up nose to tail, although right now it's been looks like Schaefer backed off a little bit. Anyway, he will fall back to about the 11th spot.
Well, Schaefer gets there to the inside of the 16. Here comes Harberts, who he had his struggles on the outside, and he's glad to see somebody else having the same, as he'll go by Daniel Pope. Dustin Momberquette will sling it down in there in turn 3, and Daniel Pope going to fall all the way back.
There it is, back to the 11th spot. That's where the train ended, so Pope becomes the caboose.
Well, Aaron Johnson stretched to 2.2 seconds now as Parker Traves got some competition here. Josh Cottle tried to get to the inside, nearly got into the back bumper of the 60.
Now Johnson is doing something interesting here, Jeff, as he has decided he's going to go to the whip early. That will really work out for the 78 driver if they go green with this giant lead that he has. And he continues to stretch this lead as these guys still in a little bit of a tire saving mode, but of course 70 laps remaining in this race. We just passed halfway and Aaron Johnson already hitting it. We'll see how that works out. It's going to be interesting as this race goes on. I don't know how much practice they've done, Jeff. I know they always pick like lap times that they need to run, so maybe that's what Johnson's doing.
Yeah, it could be. And Josh Cottle, he might be asking some advice from some of his teammates like Josh Cottle and Cole Cabrey, Trevor Edwards, but they're stuck in traffic. They're stuck behind Parker Traves right now. Cottle is trying to get around them. Everybody's being really patient right now, but it's got to be slow in the pace, so maybe they're not running the number that they want to be running. As Harbert gets underneath Joe Schaefer, that's going to put the 6 to the outside, move Dustin Momberquette up a spot as well.
Schaefer was able to find his way in front of Daniel Pope, so Pope still running 11. Schaefer drops back to 10th. You'll find behind them Ryan Kuhn is back there. He's in the 12th position. Now, we've seen this from Ryan Kuhn before.
Ooh, contact for third as Parker Traves got a bump from the 13. Josh Cottle is there to the inside now, and Parker Traves might be in trouble here.
Well, he's in trouble for, he's gone to the high side, Jeff, so it's probably going to, and he does not look happy. He almost got in the right rear of Josh Cottle. We've seen that before with this car. If you do that, it hooks the car. You put the guy in the outside wall along with yourself, so you got to be careful.
Yeah, Cottle tried for a long time. He did finally have to kind of sling it down there on the apron, force the 60 up the racetrack. I don't think Parker's terribly happy about that, but he definitely wasn't running as fast a pace as the guys behind him wanted to go, and now he's going to start losing spots. Cole Cabrey went by. Here comes Trevor Edwards in the 32. Alex McCollum going to go by Traves. Traves got up the racetrack nearly to the wall that time. Harbert's going to come by. Here comes Momberquette as well. So Traves just going to have to let the train go and slot in line ahead of Joe Schaefer.
That's where he'll find his way in. That puts him back to 9th, and now he's going to try to cross Momberquette over. Ooh, that was tight racing as they went down into turn number 3. Momberquette didn't give a whole lot of room, and now Traves going to be to the bottom, so he's going to try to start fighting back immediately.
It seemed like Momberquette was trying to make a move on Harbert, as here comes Momberquette back around the 60. Nice over-under there, and Parker going to try to do the same. The 16's probably going to park it, and he does, and now they're going to make contact down the front straightaway.
Oh, and that's going to be big junk. It's Parker Traves.
Poor Joe Schaefer gets caught up in that one as the 60 and the 16 get together on the front straightaway. I saw it coming. I knew that Momberquette was going to have to slow his exit to try to keep the 60 from going underneath him. And the 60 tried to set it up, just got into the back bumper. Around they go. And poor Joe Schaefer, nowhere to go in that one.
I mean, I race with Parker. I mean, I don't race with Parker Traves, but I know that's a very bad idea. To park it in front of Parker. I mean, he's going to be on the gas, and that's what happened. And then I think his expectation was that the 16 would save that race car. But, I mean, I don't know. I just don't think you're racing, right? I mean, the crossover worked the first time. The crossover worked, wow. And then we've got a moment, interesting moment down the front straightaway. I won't make a call on that one. All the spectators that are watching, you guys can make a call here, but there's a moment where the 16, right about here, I think that those hands go left. I'm just curious if we can see that through the windshield.
Yeah, I think that's desperation where Momberquette is saying, hey, you're going to have to back off or we're wrecking. And Parker chose wrecking, I think. And Joe Schaefer, just
yeah,
the victim in that one. That's the tough part about it. Schaefer just nowhere to go.
Being an innocent bystander, Jeff.
But that's Lanier for you. That is
Lanier.
exactly what we talked about when we said anything could happen here.
We'll back it up just a little bit more here to watch Joe Schaefer's view of this incident. Doesn't really have a view of the incident, and then he's junk.
Yeah, he knew they were in trouble. He was going outside. He was going really far into the outside because he knew there was about to be issues on the bottom. Well, Bill, we are doubled up. We're going to go back to green flag racing. Quick cautions here at Lanier. Not a lot of time to do repairs. We were just going straight back to racing. Aaron Johnson, his 2.5-second lead is evaporated here with that caution. We're going to have a lap 97 restart in this 150-lapper. Brendan Lee on the outside. Josh Cottle restarts third. Cole Cabry fourth. We are off and racing again in the RS Center Trucking 150. Cottle going for the second spot as Brendan Lee now caught on the outside. Here comes Cole Cabry as well to the inside. Trevor Edwards up into the 5th spot. Ryan Kuhn just made a move down in front of Spencer Dickinson to get himself to the bottom. He'll be right behind Harberts. That is the 8th spot for Ryan Kuhn. If he finishes there, he would clinch the Super Series title. So Cottle has cleared Brendan Lee for the 2nd spot. Cole Cabry takes 3rd. Here comes Trevor Edwards. He's looking for 4th. Ryan Kuhn trying to make a move around Alex McCollum. They are battling for 7th on the racetrack.
Going to look for that crossover down the front straightaway. Wasn't able to make the move. Kuhn gets the car into turn number 1. He clears McCollum with Kuhn up to 7th. Everybody single filed throughout your top 10.
I think that was one of those moves where Alex stuck the nose down there just to see if he could get Ryan Kuhn to give him the spot. I don't think he was planning on sending it. This time he does, though. He goes for it down into turn 3. Ryan Kuhn going to have to be extra cautious, and he's going to have to let Alex McCollum go there.
Big wreck towards the back. Devin Rogers hard into the turn 4 fence. He had been battling with Kyle Souza. I think they made contact through turns 1 and 2. And then they went into turns 3 and 4. We'll go all the way back to turns 1 and 2 to see where this started.
And that car is not tracking correctly either, so big trouble for Devin Rogers.
This is 3 and 4 on the previous lap. Souza looks like he just kind of chopped the nose of the 96 going into 1. They're side by side down the back straightaway.
Their nose in the right rear.
That was an ejector seat moment. And then,
well, you talked about it earlier with you get too hard on somebody's right rear, you can hook them across the racetrack, and that's what happened for Devin Rogers. Kyle Souza got on that right rear quarter panel, just turned the 96 up the racetrack.
Souza looks like he's struggling a little bit here. You can see him get a little bit loose through 3 and 4. There it is there. Devin Rogers made the move down into turn number 1. Clearly there, and they make a little bit of contact in turn 1 and 2. Souza up the racetrack. Rogers on the bottom on the replay, and here we go. You're going to watch the 7 car just, well, I mean, the 96 creeps a little bit. But, man.
Well, shout out to Andre, who was in the chat cheering for Devin right before he crashed. Also, shout out to Josh Parrish, who was cheering for the EPI and the Shop Boys.
That's just that's a tough one.
Yeah, I think that's likely going to end Devin's night because
yeah, that car was mean.
Yeah, that car was not tracking correctly down the racetrack as he pulled away from that one. Well, we are going to double them up and go back to green flag racing. About 40 laps to go. I think exactly 40 to go when they cross the line here. Aaron Johnson has led all 109 laps so far. Josh Cottle going to restart second. Cole Cabrey third. Trevor Edwards fourth. Brendan Lee fifth. Jacob Harbert's going to restart sixth. Alex McCollum, Ryan Kuhn in your seventh and eighth positions. Here we go. Back to green flag racing, the RS Center Trucking 150. Looks like Cabrey going to leave some room for Josh Cottle to drop down into the second spot. That was awfully nice from Cabrey with just 40 laps to go in this one. And it looks like he's trying to give some room for Trevor Edwards as well, and I don't think the guys behind him are going to appreciate that.
Brendan Lee and Jacob Harberts are battling side by side. You were just talking about Trevor Edwards, Jeff. He's up to third. Ryan Kuhn running eighth. And Kuhn stuck on the outside. That is bad news for Ryan Kuhn with not a lot of laps remaining in this race.
And Josh Cottle's letting Trevor Edwards go. So Trevor Edwards is up into the second spot. And where they're sitting right now, Aaron Johnson's going to have a decision made here. Is he going to let Trevor Edwards go and win this race and possibly take the title? Or is he going to fight for this one and try to win here? His first SARA Super Series win.
Well, this would be very, very interesting if you were on the team radio. Ryan Kuhn has made it down to the bottom here as we got a spinner on the front straightaway. Kyle Souza is around. That's going to bring out another yellow. Kyle giving us a little bit of victory donuts prior to any kind of victory or culmination of this race. But let's try to figure out what happened to Kyle.
Well, Kyle got tangled up with the 66 Eric Tracy and maybe the 65 of Aaron Abendroth.
Oh. Looks like just a checkup. One of those situations where...
Yeah, he got into the back of Tracy. Then he lifted. I think he was trying to let Eric gather it up, and Aaron just can't see what's going on in front of him. And he's on the throttle coming off the corner, and Kyle Souza's not.
That's a pretty easy one to call there, Jeff. It's just kind of a racing deal, to be honest. I mean, there's not much... I don't know how much Aaron can even see.
Yeah, I don't think Aaron really did anything nefarious there, and Kyle was trying to do the right thing, allow the 66 to gather it up, and unfortunately, he pays the price for it.
Give you a look from Aaron Abendroth's view here. He's barely on the throttle. Let's go back one more time as we go through 3 and 4. So unfortunate for Kyle Souza, he's going to end up in the back once again. But at this point, the good news is that's only 15th place.
Yeah, still time here to try to make something happen here for Kyle Souza. He'll be back on the racetrack. And things are starting to heat up front. Aaron Johnson has led every lap of this one, but now he's got Trevor Edwards, and Edwards needs this win in the worst way if he wants a chance at the title. Ryan Kuhn is running 9th. That would seal it for him. But if he was to lose another spot and Edwards was to gain one, it's a different story.
You set it up well, Jeff. What's going to happen on this front row?
Yeah, I mean, it would take a lot for Aaron Johnson to pull over and let Trevor Edwards go. But here we go, back to green flag racing, lap 121 restart. Edwards going to get some help here from Cole Cabrey to get down to the inside. No such luck for Josh Cottle, who's under fire from Brendan Lee. Cottle's going to try to fight with Cabrey on the outside here. Brendan Lee going to try to take that spot back from Cottle. Brandon was running second early on, got shuffled back just a bit, trying to work his way forward. Here comes Jacob Harberts, who at one point in this race was running 23rd. He's trying to get back into the top 5.
Jacob Harberts to the inside of Josh Cottle. Cottle caught on the outside. Alex McCollum going to try to make a move. Looked like he was going to look underneath Ryan Kuhn. Didn't do it. Ryan Kuhn, he's starting to make his way back forward. He's putting the moves on Josh Cottle. Cottle still caught on the outside. Kuhn going to try to battle for 6th.
Kuhn now underneath Cottle, and up front, Trevor Edwards is all over Aaron Johnson right now. Any mistake at all from Aaron Johnson, Trevor Edwards is there to capitalize. Ryan Kuhn does clear Josh Cottle. Alex McCollum going to go by as well. Move Cottle all the way back into the 8th position.
Shout out to Matt Rolfe making his way into the top 10 in the 0 cars. Well, that was...
Well, almost.
Yeah, that was, what do you call that, announcer's jinx? Yeah, he got really sideways off of turn number 2. Lost that position to Spencer Dickinson as he tried to get into 9th here as he's running 10th in that 0 car. A bunch of cars packed up behind him.
Brandon Lee trying to set up Cole Camry here as we got a battle for the lead. The 78 up the racetrack, going to let the 32 machine go. And now Cole Camry's going around. Contact with a 15. Now Brandon Lee's going to hit the wall. Kyle Souza going to slam on the brakes to try to stay out of that one. But the 15 got together with the 88. Or the 88 machine. And I think that's going to end it for Brandon Lee.
I will say this. Cole made sure the 15 was not going to finish the race right there. Once he got it back underneath him, it was go time. And unfortunately for Brendan, they were still making contact.
Harberts was able to get through that. Maybe a little contact there with the 15 as he went by.
It's that incredible, odd right rear situation where Cole saves the 88, and it's kind of in the process, ends up in the right rear of that 15, and it's just an immediate hook as Brendan Lee ends up sideways and then into the wall.
I think Kyle Meyer got some of that as well. But right behind that incident, I think Kyle Meyer was checking up, got turned around. He got some damage. Harberts and Ryan Kuhn. Ryan Kuhn got through that one. I bet that was kind of a breathtaking moment there for Ryan as he was watching him wreck in front of him again. That was Shane Williamson that got into Kyle Meyer. You saw that on the replay.
It is tough. I got it in an incident last on Tuesday, Jeff, and kind of the same situation where I got hooked in the right rear. And it's so hard to control the car after that happens. I thought, oh, just get it straight, get the guy off my right rear. It happened, and then I got hit. Oh, it's just awful. Good news is these cars are tanks.
Well, we are going back to green flag racing now. Trevor Edwards, your race leader. Aaron Johnson going to restart second. Jacob Harberts up into the 3rd spot from deep in the field. Ryan Kuhn going to restart 4th. Cole Camry 5th. Alex McCollum 6th. Josh Cottle, Spencer Dickinson. Here we go. Lap 134 restart in the RS Center Trucking 150. Harberts trying to get a second away from Aaron Johnson here. He's making a charge through 1 and 2.
Trevor Edwards going to need a lot of help from this bottom lane as Ryan Kuhn currently stuck on the outside. He's battling with Cole Camry. That's a battle for that 5th position. Make it the 4th position as Cole Camry's running in 4th. Battle for 2nd is Harberts. We've seen him make his way all the way to the back and all the way back to the front as Harbert's going to take 2nd away from Aaron Johnson.
Johnson trying to find a spot in line. Cole Camry's not going to let him have it. He gets to the inside. Now Matt Rolfe is spinning off turn 2. Caution is going to wave. And I don't think anybody hit Matt. I think everybody was able to avoid him there.
I think he might have had contact from Aaron Abendroth as they went through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think Aaron just said on the radio that was his fault.
That's something you don't want to do, right? Turn the guy that runs the series.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Bill, this is still an invite-only series, right? Aaron might not have an invite next season.
An invite revoked. You can see just getting into turn number 1. Aaron, a little bit better run than Matt. Matt kind of missed the bottom a tick.
We'll talk about roller coaster nights. Matt Rolfe was into the 8th spot when that happened. Fought his way back from being a lap down. Now he's going to go all the way back to 15th. That's the last car on the lead lap.
With 10 laps to go.
Yeah, with just about 10 laps to go when we go back to green. So trouble for Matt there. Roller coaster up and down night for him. Aaron going to go to the rear of the field. He did claim that caution. So now we're going to have an interesting one because Jacob Harberts has been on a tear coming through the field to get back to the front, but he's going to restart on the outside now. And shout out to Trevor Edwards, started 15th, running first right now, candidate for the Jeff By Jr. Art Hard Charger Award. Dylan Bates also in that conversation started 20th. He is up to 9th. Kyle Souza started 23rd. He is up to 11th. Eric Tracy started 25th tonight. He is up to 13th. If you're wondering about Ryan Kuhn, he is going to restart 6th here. Just needs an 8th or better. Doesn't matter what Trevor Edwards does. If he finishes 8th or better, the championship is his. Trevor Edwards needs to win it. He needs some people to get around Ryan Kuhn.
Pressure is
here
on,
we go.
Man. The pressure is on. I don't even know if I want to watch Trevor Edwards. I want to watch what happens to Ryan Kuhn because he is sitting on the outside right now, Jeff.
And here we go, back to Green Flag Racing with 8 laps to go. Trevor Edwards out front. Harbert's trying to get a run here. He might be clear. Aaron Johnson off turn 2. He could get down into line. That's what Harbert's needed there to put some pressure to the 32 with Trevor Edwards.
This could be a big move from Harberts. He's going to try to get the run down the back straightaway. Can't do it. Trevor Edwards going to stay in the lead. We're going to come up with 6 to go as we hit the line. Ryan Kuhn still stuck on the outside, Jeff, as Alex McCollum went by. Now Kuhn jumps in the line. He's running 7th.
Trevor Edwards leads the way behind him. Jacob Harbert's all over him, and they're starting to gap Aaron Johnson and Cole Cabrey, who cannot settle this battle for 3rd. Cabrey doing a fantastic job on the outside, but they are starting to lose touch with the top 2.
Cabrey wheeling it around the outside in that 88 machine, trying to make the move on Aaron Johnson. Aaron Johnson dominated the earlier part of this race. Can't make the move as they are going to continue to battle for 3rd.
Aaron starting to inch forward. Here comes Josh Cottle, the inside. Ryan Kuhn's getting right rear hooked by Alex McCollum. And Ryan Kuhn is around. Daniel Pope gets involved. And we are cautioned.
No, not what Ryan Kuhn wanted to see. As he had just made the move on Alex McCollum and coming off of turn number 4, Ryan Kuhn caught. Well, actually, Alex McCollum caught the right rear of Ryan Kuhn.
And I can't imagine that Ryan Kuhn's going to be very happy about this. And he is irate right now on the radio.
Looking at your replay, you can see the move had just happened. I mean, McCollum just drives into the right rear of the 72 car. Everybody tries to avoid the 72s. Some drivers slide into it, Daniel Pope being the last one. But, man, he has reason to be irate. I don't think there was a bump. I think Ryan Kuhn, you can see here, he just makes the move on Alex McCollum.
And Ryan's frustration is that is Trevor Edwards' teammate that just right rear hooked him. And that is going to be a discussion, I'm sure.
You can see Ryan Kuhn absolutely jam the wheel left as the contact was made. Tries to stop that car from spinning, but just nothing he can do. Ugh.
Daniel Pope down on the pit road. His car is tracking off. As you can see, the right rear just swung out on the 16 machine.
I don't think
he came in late.
That's not the word for what that car is doing, Jeff. That car is a dirt late model. Look at that thing get around.
Yeah, it's up on the bars right there.
Heck yeah. Look at I'm not laughing at it, but it's... If you put like dirt late model sound to what that car is doing right now, you believe it's actually happening.
Well, looking at the running order right now, there was only 11 cars left on the racetrack, Bill, and Ryan Kuhn is running 11th. It's going to be a green-white checkered. He is going to have to pass a bunch of cars here in 3 laps to try to clinch this title. He can do it. He's going to restart on the inside. He knows he's faster than some of the guys ahead of him. So we are doubled up. Trevor Edwards out front. I believe the way if it ends this way right now, Trevor Edwards would be your champion. Pace cars off the racetrack. Here we go. Green flag racing the RS Center Trucking 150. Harberts didn't get a great restart, so Aaron Johnson's there on the inside.
Kuhn did 9th right away.
White flag is out for Trevor Edwards. Here comes Aaron Johnson to the inside of Harbert's. Daniel Pope's trying to get out of the pits.
Kuhn to 8th, Jeff.
Kuhn's going around Kyle Souza. He's going to get into the 8th spot off turn 4. Trevor Edwards is going to win the race. And it looks like Ryan Kuhn's going to take home the title by 1 spot that he needed.
Unbelievable. Just not enough cars on the racetrack at the end. Ryan Kuhn with that late spin, but it's a spin to win the title. Trevor Edwards did everything he needed to do tonight as he puts the car in victory lane. Per your calculations, Jeff, he's going to come up 1 spot short. Wow, what a season. 10 races to end up that close.
Yeah, that is unbelievable. Trevor Edwards did everything he needed to do tonight, which was put himself out front, have a shot at the win, and he did it. Started 15th tonight, just drove through the field. We didn't give him much of a chance after qualifying, Bill, and he surprised us, I got to say.
Yeah, that car had race pace, right? You would say that's race pace? Where you didn't have great qualifying effort starting 14th or qualifying 14th and then just drove right to the front, able to win this race.
So Jacob Harbert's also fantastic run for Harbert's, comes home second. Aaron Johnson, who led most of the night, just got beat at the end there. Going to come home third. Josh Cottle fourth. Cole Cabrey fifth. Shout out to Dylan Bates, who was a couple laps down at one point, caught up in an early wreck, going to come home sixth, started 20th tonight. Heck of a run for Dylan. Shane Williamson going to finish 7th. Ryan Kuhn 8th. Kyle Souza 9th. Aaron Abendroth going to come home 10th.
Matt Rolfe 11th. Spencer Dickinson 12th. Eric Tracy 13th. Remember, only your top 11 cars were finished on the lead lap tonight. There's everybody, a lot of issues tonight, especially after that last wreck. Daniel Pope came home 14th. Alex McCollum 15th. Kyle Meyer 16th. Brendan Lee 17th. Devin Rogers 18th. RS Center 19th. Parker Traves 20th. Joe Schaefer Jr., Dustin Monberquette, Cameron Hamilton, Mike Ashby, and Kyle Martinson round out your field. But drama the last 10 laps of this race. The RS Center trucking 150 at Lanier, the Sim Auto Racing Association Super Series. And well, Jeff, are we going to get to talk to some of these gentlemen? I'm sure that there's quite a bit of excitement that went through the field tonight.
Yeah, well, right now our race winner Trevor Edwards going to join us. And Trevor, after qualifying, we were concerned, to say the least. You started 15th tonight. What was it like coming through the field at a track like this?
Well, we knew we weren't gonna be that good in qualifying. The session started out at like 103 degrees, and by the time it got to kind of mid-pack, it was like 107, 108, up to 111. So we knew we probably wasn't gonna be good. But it gave us some hard charger points. I'm sure I gotta go look and see if we got them, but we'll see what happens. I think Ryan locked it up with 8th or 9th place.
Well, per our calculations, Trevor, it was an 8th place run that he needed to have. He finished exactly there. But talk about the strategy tonight. What was the strategy with the 32 car, especially qualifying 14th with the championship on your mind? Well, how did you figure you were going to navigate this race, and how did that work out? As obviously it worked out pretty good if you ended up in victory lane, but what was the plan going forward?
I saved pretty hard the first 40 laps, just kind of maintained where I was, didn't let people get near me and take any risk. And then once we got into the top 10, I just kind of, I don't know, it's probably like lap 60 or so, I just took off and then got up there to second and then ran up to Aaron. And Aaron's going for his first Super Series when I was like, do not give it to me. Whatever you do not give it to me. And I don't think I was underneath him off of 4, but he just kind of let me go into 1. And then that thing in clean air was so freaking fast. It was unreal.
Well, Trevor, you had a lot of teammates up there near the top of the field. I mean, the shop has been so fast all season, and you guys found it again, the speed. I was worried, 2 weeks off, that everybody else might catch up. Did you guys feel like maybe you just got even better over those 2 weeks, or what might happen there?
No, I think we just kind of our base package we know is really good long run. So we were hoping this race was going to go green pretty much the entire way. And kind of stuck to that, knew what we had, changed a couple little experimental things, which looks like it worked. We were pretty good. I mean, I think at one point we had the whole top 5. But like I said, it was good. Told everybody that I was going to come out and try to win and then just let the points kind of fall where they lay. And, I think we came a couple points short.
Yeah, it looks like officially it was -4. So, I mean, it was close, Trevor.
So bad part about that is at Nashville Mini, I have a 5-point deduction for incidents, even though I had some net code and he wouldn't take them away. So That's where that's at.
I I don't know how to follow that up right there, Trevor.
That's
That's
heartbreaking.
a
Is what
horrible
that is.
feeling. Well,
I wish you would told me 6.
that was my question, Trevor. Is what is it? I mean, 10 race season. It means, and I know how much it means to you guys to win this Sim Auto Racing Super Series title. After the entire 10 races to lose by 4, I don't want to like bring out the sadness, but what does that feel like? Like, what does that motivate you going into another season?
I blame it on Matt for scheduling the race while I was on vacation because Southern National, I knew I probably could have ran, top 3 at least. Those cars were really good there. And yeah, I would have negated the 7th place finish I had, but I didn't have a drop. So worst place I finished all season was 7th. I mean, I can't be too mad about that. This has been a really good season for me. I have not been that good in the supers here lately. So to come out here and win, I think 3 times, like, I mean, it's a good successful season. It sucks to come this close to the championship because it's the only SARA championship that I've ran for that I haven't won.
Well,
I've not won
Trevor,
a Super Series yet.
the seasons are winding down here. ITZR is over. SARA now over. Do you take a little bit of a break now, or is it too hard to walk away when you guys are this fast and winning? You're gonna go back out there and run some other series and races right now.
I think I want to focus on some official stuff a whole lot more with EPI. Just try to get that program even better. We're pretty good. We have some work to do on short runs. As you can see, long runs we kind of have it figured out. So hopefully some big money races come up here soon, the late model stock, and I'll sign up for every one of them that I can. And then I'm sure I'll find some kind of league to run on a Monday or Tuesday or something. But I'm bittersweet that SARA's over because it's my favorite league, of course, and I put a lot of time and effort into it. So now I have a lot of free time probably on my hands. So we'll see how it goes.
And Trevor, with those other leagues that you're running, I apologize. I ran into you on Tuesday night when we ran in a race together. I didn't know if you knew that was me, but yeah, that was me when you spun out on
Oh,
Tuesday.
that was Bill Timer. I don't know what
That's
you're
right.
talking about,
That's
man.
right. Yeah, that was me.
That damn Bill Timer.
That's
Yeah, that
right.
race. I think that race I had won pretty easy
You
until
did.
that restart let somebody get close to me for no reason. But it is what it is. Now I'm motivated to run that league, and I thought that league was a fixed seat league, so that's 15 minutes of practice. We're just building the setup. So for next week at Myrtle, I think I'm gonna be a little bit more prepared.
Fantastic. Well, let's do the shout outs, Trevor. I know the shop. Just run down the list. Who do you want to thank tonight?
I gotta thank everybody. I mean, everybody put a lot of work in this week. We didn't test until Monday, really, but we tested Monday, Tuesday, and tonight pretty hard. We ran a bunch of laps. But I got to thank everybody at the shop, of course. Cottle Captures, Elite Performance Industries, Justin Brooks Designs. I've had the best luck with this car, so I'm probably just going to run it forever, never change it. And thank you guys for broadcasting every week, and then Matt for putting the series on. It's literally the best league on iRacing. I don't care what anybody says. So
Well, congratulations, Trevor. A fantastic season. You end up with your 3rd win, the most of anybody this season. 7 top 5s, 9 top 10s. Fantastic season overall. And we can't wait to see you back with the SARA Super Series next season.
yep, I'll be here. Thank you guys again.
Thank you, Trevor. Well, now joining us, our series champion, the Pierce Fleet Service Super Series champion, Ryan Kuhn. And Ryan, it was not easy tonight. You were mired in traffic most of the night. You had the incident with Alex McCollum late in that race. What were you thinking there on that green white checkered, restarting 11th and knowing you needed to pass some cars to get up to 8th to seal the deal?
The only thing I was thinking of all race was this is the least amount of respect anyone's ever given me all season, and especially racing for a title, you just get raced like what, like by teammates, and it's ridiculous. But we got the championship pre-penalties, so hopefully it sticks. But it's just I don't know, it's aggravating getting raced like that. But I mean, I guess you'll get that nowadays.
Well, silver lining, Ryan, you are the champion, so that's good news. I mean, I know it's frustrating, but what is it?
Yeah,
Talk about what it means to you to win a SARA Super Series championship.
yeah, it's been a long time coming. 4 seasons now. I think it's my 4th season. I 3rd or 4th season, but it's always cool to go for the championship. And honestly, I was really trying to keep it as safe as possible the whole race. But I mean, obviously, you guys saw the outcome. But just try to play it really, really smart in that race. Just try to bide my time. All I had to do was finish 8th or better, and um, just trying to hang in there in the top 7. Try to put myself on the bottom line for a restart, and obviously that late race incident there, and had to be really aggressive on that last restart. So we're able to get there, thanks to a couple people, a lot of respect by some of the guys that were in the back of this pack, and were able to run me really clean, really hard. So that's always cool. So I appreciate those guys. Appreciate you guys in the booth for broadcasting this deal. Matt Roll for putting this series on. It's an awesome series, and I'm excited to hopefully come back next season.
Or Ryan, we always like to talk to the guys about their real life racing. And last time we talked to you, you told us you weren't doing a whole lot of racing this summer. But what would be next up for you in the late models up there in the Northeast?
So tomorrow night we'll be at Lee USA Speedway for $10,000 to win pro late model race with Kyle Busch, actually, which is going to be really cool. So we'll be racing against Kyle Busch, and we have a really good car there. Last time we were there, we won. So, and the car that finished second to us, I believe that's the car he's running. So, um, I'm really excited for it. Hopefully the rain holds off, and we'll be at Lee tomorrow for a shot at 10 grand.
Well, Ryan, you pretty much did the entire interview for us. I mean, you knew exactly what we would ask. You thanked everybody already, but what are the plans next season? You figure come back to the SARA Super Series and anything else you're going to be doing here on the iRacing service? I mean, you got the real car locked down, and hopefully you get a win Saturday night. So what about next season here at SARA?
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. I'm sure I'll come back. I don't know if it's gonna be full time or part time or whatnot. I'm really trying to see what our real life plans are for next year, and I'm trying to look for some opportunities in real life next year, and searching around still, searching for sponsors and whatnot. So it's all gonna come down to that, and hopefully it all works out in our favor. And I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Well, Ryan, before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank you haven't so far?
Yeah, first off, I'd like to thank my real life sponsors first, Everett's Auto Parts for the real life opportunities, Bernie's Liquors, Modern Auto Body, uh, all my guys at RKM for putting in the time, test laps, giving me feedback all season long. We had a really good season, the contender side, 9 wins. Coastal Heritage Bank, 01 Designs, Studio 10 Wraps, Justin Brooks Designs, you guys in the booth, Matt Rolfe, everybody with the boys at SARA, putting this whole deal on, and hopefully we're ready to come back next season.
Well, Ryan, congratulations on the championship. Fantastic season overall. 4 poles, 2 wins, 6 top 5s, 9 top 10s. It was a near dominant season, and congratulations. That was a heck of a job, and can't wait to see you next season.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, now joining us, our second place finisher in tonight's race, Jacob Harberts. And Jacob, it didn't start off well. At one point, you had fallen all the way back to 23rd because you started on the outside line. They basically trained you to the back. And how did you get through the field and still have tires left over to battle for the lead with Trevor Edwards?
Well, the start was definitely rough. I had the plan on saving tires early with, the track temp being pretty warm and a long 150 lap race. But that was not part of the plan. I didn't want to drop back that far. But really, the two things that helped me were that first caution. I gained I think 8 spots from it, 7 or 8 spots, and from pretty much the rest of the race, I was on the inside every restart except for one, I think. But luckily, I was able to get a caution at the right time to get back down on the bottom. But being on the inside in those late race restarts was really just a huge factor.
Well, Jacob, talk about the mindset when you get shuffled back to the back like that early in the race. What do you start to think about? Like, what? I know obviously that alters your plan. So, are you frustrated, or are you just like thinking, I need to get to the bottom. I just need to pick off cars.
Normally, I would be pretty frustrated. But two things that kind of helped me just stay cool was one, I knew it was going to be a long race, and with the hot track, it was going to open up some passing. Um, and two, I'm not in points. I'm only running for fun tonight. I didn't spend a lot of time on setups, so I was just here to have fun. So I was just kind of kept that mentality of just bringing the car home clean and have a good time tonight. So that's really what helped me.
Well, Jacob, you talked about it. You were just a part timer this year, but you had one win. and you were going for it there with Trevor Edwards. But did you understand that he was in that points battle, and that make it a little bit more difficult to maybe race him for the win?
No, I like to think I have pretty good car control, so I'm not. I was definitely going for the win if I had a shot. I was gonna try something, but I certainly wasn't gonna try and bump and run or dive bomb or anything like that. I really think that um, really what it came down to, I was just a little too loose there at the end. That 10 lap run or so that we had at the end was really my one shot of beating the 32, and I was just too loose after 3 or 4 laps into that run. I started losing the rear end. So those last 10 or 15 laps of the race, I was really just holding on what I could. I didn't save enough or just had the car a little too loose, one of the two.
So you're a part-time driver this season. Jacob obviously had some really good runs in this series. Is the plan to possibly run full season next season? Next time these guys run another one back?
Full time's always the plan, but things come up. I have a pretty busy schedule with racing, real life. So depending how that goes, that can affect how much I can be on the sim. But the plan's always to be full time, but we'll see.
Well, Jacob, we always like to talk to the guys about their real life racing, and I believe it's a legend car that you have, right?
Yes, sir.
So what's next up for you in the legend car? Where can people go see Jacob Harbert's race in real life?
I race at Langley Speedway. That's the only track that I'm at right now. It's my first year racing legends. I've been racing go-karts for my entire life. So this year is a pretty big step up, but I'm pretty happy with how I've gotten things so far. I got my first top 5 last race. I finished 4th actually. So I'm really happy with how those things are going. Langley has a pretty competitive field. Last race there was 18 cars, I'm pretty sure, 17 or 18. So 4th out of 18, nothing to be mad about, especially when you only got 5 races under your belt.
Well, Jacob, we always give everybody an opportunity to thank the boys back at the shop. So, well, not actually the shop, but the boys back at your shop. So, who do you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the guys at CFM, FNC. He helped me a lot during the season with the asphalt late model setups. LeDuc Matthews Racing, and my grandparents at home watching.
All right, Jacob. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk with us. Congratulations on a great run tonight and good season. Even though it was a part-time one, you did come away with a win. That's hard to do in the Super Series. Fantastic job this year.
Thank you.
Well, now joining us, our third place finisher and the guy who led the most laps tonight, Aaron Johnson. And Aaron, I know how bad you want that first Super Series win. Was it just down to those cautions at the end that let everybody get back to you?
Yeah, pretty much. Those cautions after done heated the tires up and everything, and started getting a little bit tighter than I would like it. But man, if they didn't, we were a rocket.
Talk about the plan tonight, Aaron. Your plan looked to be a little bit different than everybody else. While everybody else was saving kind of middle of that race, you took off and put over a 2-second lead on the rest of the field. Were you trying to be the rabbit and just gap yourself, hoping that it would go green?
I was still riding. I was just riding, just checking what lap times I was running, just based on the pace everybody else was. But I just figured I'd just go see what happens.
Well, Aaron, we heard from Trevor. He was telling you, don't give it to me, don't give it to me. But he did think you maybe gave up the lead a little too easy. Now, looking back at it, knowing that he ended up not getting the title, does it make you think maybe I should have raced him a little bit differently? Should I made it a little bit tougher?
Well, when he got to me, I got tight. So I didn't mean, I want to race him, but I know he's going for a title. But I don't want to be the guy to just run him hard and eventually almost wreck him or anything. But I was going to race him hard if I didn't get tight right there.
Well, Aaron, pretty good season there for the 78 car. He really came on towards the end. Obviously, looks like your first Super Series win is on the horizon. So who do you want to thank that's given you that speed and really made you fast in this late model stock?
I got to thank the boys at the shop, Elite Performance Industries, Trevor Edwards, Josh Cottle, Tyler Payne, all these guys just help us out. I want to congratulate Spencer for winning the contender title last night. And man, just wanted to. We're just close. I know it's there. I just maybe next year or next season we'll get it.
All right, Aaron. Well, congratulations on a fantastic season. You're gonna come away with a top 10 in points. You finished 8th in points, 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s, including your best finish in the Super Series tonight. Fantastic job. Led the most laps, and you were just that close. If things had gone a different way with the cautions, maybe you were too far gone for anybody to catch. But a great job tonight and this season.
Appreciate it, guys.
Well, Bill, that is a wrap on our first season of the late model stock, both at Sim Auto Racing Association and ITZR. And I got to say, this car did not disappoint. We've had the best racing, I think, since we started broadcasting this year on all 3 series.
Oh, 100%. I think we all know that this is the best car we've ever had on a short track series, and I cannot wait to get more seasons started. I mean, I can, but it's going to be exciting to get more seasons started. I mean, this has been really fun, and this car is fantastic. And you know, between the open setup at the we have to ask Matt Rolfe one time: is it SARA or is it SARA? Because I say SARA, a lot of guys say SARA. I'm going to say SARA for now. But I mean, in the SARA Super Series, that's the open setup. That's been fantastic too. This has just been a really fun car to watch race.
Yeah, it's been absolutely fun this whole season, and shout out to the teams that have figured this car out very quickly. Ryan Kuhn and the shop, and those guys have just been so fast. And I know there's a lot of teams that have struggled with this car, and they're going to be working in this off season to try to figure things out. And I expect that the next season things are going to be even crazier and even tighter next season. I think some of these teams that haven't been able to figure this car out will figure it out before the next season starts.
Oh yeah, give them more time. The engineers will go to work, and they'll start to figure these setups out. And, you know, some of these guys have been chasing a little bit this season, but I mean, moving forward, it's just going to continue to get more exciting, and it's just stuff to look forward to. I mean, more good racing and more fun stuff to watch.
Well, thank you to everybody that hung out with us all season long on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Twitch. Thank you to Matt Rolfe for having us be a part of the Sim Auto Racing Association Pierce Fleet Service. Everybody that supports the series, you guys are fantastic. Thank you to everyone. That is a wrap for us. And keep an eye on our Facebook page, In the Zone Racing. Keep an eye on the Sim Auto Racing Association Facebook page for announcements about the future seasons. I think everybody's going to take a little bit of a break, a summer break, relax, watch some racing. I know that's what you're doing.
You're going to go in the pool on Monday night? No, I'm kidding. We'll see what's going on. But yeah, it's a little bit of a summer break, and I mean, we'll reboot, man. Like we said, we're excited to get this late model stock, another season of this car going. But yeah, spend time with the family, and yeah, we'll see you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you from everybody at ITZR and Sim Auto Racing Association, and we will see you maybe in the fall.